Hey folks, Michael Rosso here, Film Photography Podcast. Strawberry.
I wanna.
And Leslie Lazenby is here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary.
That's right. How about Owen McCafferty? Let's hear it.
Moin.
How about Mr. Mark O'Brien? Let's hear it.
Hey, y'all.
Mr. Trev Lee.
Hey there.
Yes, and Matt Marash.
Oh, I'm here. Hey.
Hey.
Michaels, Brand, check rocket motor set to critical phase. We're launching. Don't argue, do it.
Hey, we're going to get right into it with an awesome segment. It's called Say What?
Say
I love it.
what?
Say what?
Say what?
What?
It is the confusing phraseology of photography.
That's right.
When a newbie, a greenie, a beginner gets into a group on the web, or like those even joining me here today.
Yes, 120 millimeter.
It's
I was just going to say.
trying to follow a conversation can be difficult. People can say the same thing using different nouns or verbs, thus making it confusing. I remember Wendy. Do you remember Wendy?
Yes.
Wendy was the caterer for the FPP walking workshop in Findlay. And she pulled me aside and she goes, "What language are these people speaking?" It's okay. We'll get it. So I thought I'd cover some of the most common confusers. So let's start with the rating of film's sensitivity to light. It can be referred to as ASA, DIN, ISO. ASA is American Standards Association.
Mm-hmm.
DIN is...
Deutsches Institut für Normung.
Thank you. ISO, ta-da, and finally, International Standards Organization. But there was also GOST, G-O-S-T, H&D, Hunter and Driftfield, Shiner UE, Shiner US, Weston, BSI, which is the British Standard Institution, General Electric. And why was this a problem? They were freewheeling. There was no consistency amongst each other. So let's put it this way. 400 did not always translate to 400. ISO is 400, sometimes referred to as 400/27, the European... Owen?
Deutsches Institut für Normung.
DIN.
Or DIN.
Or DIN. The GOS would have registered that at 360. The H&D would have said that was 12,800.
Oh my God.
I
I'm going crazy.
know. It's just crazy talk. It is. Shiner UE 28, Shiner US 32. Weston said it was 250. BSI said it was 37. General Electric said it was 500. This sounds like the S&P, doesn't it? And it's not a huge deal right now, but a lot of us do like using vintage equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And you might say, what film are you using? And you may have an old Weston meter, or you may have an old GE, and one says 250, but you need to be setting your camera at 400 because that's what it reads. So, see the need? We've settled on ISO. You may have an issue with some of the older equipment. So, as I say, be prepared for a little confusion. Now we're going to get into lenses. And once again, lenses is a multilingual subject. Those numbers that go around the lens barrel, or sometimes in more modern SLRs, they are simply numbers inside the viewfinder that's going to talk to the lens and control it. Their stops, their steps, their F numbers, their F stops, their apertures, their iris opening. They all indicate a consistent amount of light being left in by the adjustable iris blades in a lens. Most commonly today, we call them f-stops.
F-stops.
You agree? Yeah. And for the most part, exceptions are early cameras. Olympus used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's talk about normal lenses, prime lenses, and zoom lenses, or multifocal length lenses. Example, a normal lens can be a prime, but not all primes are normal. All beagles are dogs, not all dogs are beagles.
Mm-hmm.
A normal lens gives you the view that is closest to the human eye when you're looking straight ahead. This number that's given is called a focal length. If you have to look right or left to see more or have more, want to represent more in your image, you need a wider focal length lens. If you have to step in to get closer, you need a telephoto lens. Focal length is your indication. If you know how these numbers work, you can just look at the lens and know what it does for you. Normal focal length is 50 millimeter on your camera. If you put a 100 on, that's twice as strong. It's going to bring it in twice as much, visually closer.
Class is in session.
Because
You will be quizzed.
I'd be scared to take notes on this. A normal lens is not the same millimeter for different format films.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much. A normal lens for 35 millimeter film cameras or 135 cameras is typically 50 millimeter. That's a normal lens. Technically, it's closer, a little bit more to 45, but we're not going to split hairs. That's a full frame. If you're shooting with a half frame 35, it's 28 millimeter. Okay. If you're shooting with 120, 80 millimeter is the norm with exceptions. They'll follow in a minute. Matt, are you on your toes?
Ready for that
'Cause
4x5 number.
4x5, I'm going to say is 150.
Spot on, 150.
Okay. Still in your seat, Matt?
No, I'm barely holding on.
Okay. 8x10 is 300 to 312 for normal?
Yeah, it can approach like 350 in some.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in that range though.
Okay.
Yeah. 312 is the image circle. Yeah.
120 cameras can shoot different negative sizes.
Yes.
So if you're shooting 15 or 16 frames on a roll, let's do the confusing part. That can be referred to as 645, or it can be referred to as a 1 5/8. But its normal lens is 75 to 80. If you're shooting and only getting 12 square frames on your roll of 120, we commonly call that 2 1/4. You're shooting 2 1/4 or 6x6.
Sam Sherman uses those terms. Well, we used to.
Use
Yeah.
RIP.
God rest his soul.
RP, yes.
That's also an 80 millimeter is your normal lens. But if you're only getting 10 frames on a roll, that's a 6x7 format, it's going to jump up. It's a 90 millimeter for normal eyesight, and so on. Be prepared to be confused. Matt, you have a question or a comment?
I have a comment, something that confused me. It contributed to me getting fired from a photo job early on.
Whoa.
Because I hadn't heard the terminology before.
Get that bunk out of here.
I was asked to grab the short lens out of the bag, so I got the shortest lens in the bag, which was the 50 millimeter prime. Short lenses are wide lenses. Leslie, why didn't I know that?
I don't know. You weren't prepared to be confused.
I wasn't.
We did talk about zoom lenses. Zoom, we think, as bringing you closer, bringing your subject closer to you. They come in varying strengths. There's multi-zoom lenses, and they may not just be used for telephoto. A multi-zoom lens still means it has zoom. It changes in there, but it could go through wide into normal and into telephoto. Example being a lens that says 3570. Okay, we know 50 is normal, lower number 35. That's wide angle, just slightly. Goes through 50, goes into 70, slight telephoto, all in one lens. Very cool. One of my favorite lenses is a Nikon 20 to 40. It is a multi-focal length zoom lens, but it's considered a wide angle zoom. Zoom doesn't always mean stronger than your eye. It means user variable. Prime lens, normal lens, the whole beagle thing you just talked about. Prime lens only has one focal length, like a basic 50 for your 135 camera. No zooms, but primes are not limited to normal eyesight focal length. 28, straight 28, as I always say, a straight 28 is a prime. Straight 50, 35, prime. 50, 100, 135, 200, 500, they're all considered prime. They only have one focal length. So why would I use that if I can have the convenience of having those numbers in a multifocal length lens. Prime lenses have the reputation for greater sharpness. They have less glass in them. So we're not diminishing by adding more layers of glass. They are almost always, I don't know that I know an example where they're not, faster, meaning they see better in lower light. When they see better in lower light, they also help with exposure, and they help with you being able to focus better because more light is coming in. This is all due to having less glass. Having only one focal length lens, I think, makes me more conscious about my surroundings. I make more of a mental effort to get my final image. Disadvantage? You may lose the perfect shot by changing a lens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lights out. We're going into the darkroom. Negatives, also referred to as negs. I had no idea what a neg was the first time I heard it. It's a negative.
Oh, so you don't think about these things.
You don't think about them, especially if it's not quite your field, you've always just shot film, or you're very new to it all the way, these people are out there just yammering away on this stuff and just like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Negatives are developed. They're souped. Mm-hmm. They're processed. What'd you soup that in? D76 this week. Great. It's all processed, soup, developed. Means same thing. Fixer can be referred to by an old term.
Oh, yeah.
Hypo. Not all fixers are hypo, but
Nope.
all hypo is fixer. And it's confusing, but let's not forget the war on Celsius and Fahrenheit that always goes on. And the unit of measure. Is it metric? Is it imperial or British? Or the commonly U.S. measurement in ounces. That's why I like Patterson brand beakers. They put all three of them on, not just two, all three. Be prepared to be confused in the dark. This one gets tossed around a lot. This is image terms often used to mean the same thing, but they're not. Blurry, foggy, soft, even vignette. Mm-hmm. There is a difference in all of these. Mm-hmm. A blurry image is a lack of focus. You miss the focus. Or maybe camera movement. Mm-hmm. It was simply, shutter speed was simply open too long for you to hand hold it. My limit is rarely beyond 30, a 30th of a second. Mike Rosso can almost do a full second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, no way. But if I look at the picture and they'll say my picture's blurry, I can tell, been at this a few years, whether it was missed focus or whether it was caused from the shutter speed thing. Regardless, nothing in that picture is sharp in focus. It's kind of a loss. Then there's foggy, and foggy's not the same thing as blurry. And foggy, of course, can happen from shooting in a dense fog situation. That results in a less contrasty, less sharp-edged image. It can be kind of grayish. It can come from not only shooting in fog, it can come from outdated film. Mm-hmm. It can come from an incorrect exposure, meaning underexposure. It can come from being underdeveloped with chemicals that didn't get the correct temperature or time. They could have been too cold. They're exhausted. That can give you that thinness, that grayness, green if it's color, foggy look over your film. There's also something called dichroic fog from leaving the film. This can come from, I don't know if you knew this, Matt, from leaving the film in the developer too long.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And not all developers give the same amount of fog. Yeah.
Exactly. But the image is not blurry. They're not blurry. They're fogged. And then there's soft light and hard light. Soft light is not blurry. It's just soft light. Things don't have super hard edges. Their shadows are often filled in more than hard light. Soft light can come from a specialized lens that shoots that way. It can come from a poor quality lens. Or people will often refer to bokeh, where the wide open aperture gives those soft, almost vibrating highlights. Mm-hmm. The rest of the image is,
Bokeh.
the rest of the image isn't necessarily soft, but they'll look at what a soft image. Yeah. Hard light being the opposite. You get very definite shadow lines, hard edges like you get when you step outside and shoot on a really sunny day. Shadows don't fill in, they're a little bit darker. And then you have the magic vignette. People don't, maybe they mess it up in their minds. They don't talk about it often, but this is a darkening or a softening of just the corners of your image. The center can be right on. The edges may be off. And that can be, there again, a poor quality lens or an incorrect lens for your negative format. You're not getting full, you're getting too much coverage. You're using areas on the lens you really shouldn't be. Let's move into tricky little film terms. Oh, yeah, just be prepared. Be prepared to be confused. Slide film, positives, transparencies. They all mean the same thing.
Or trannies, as some even call
I don't believe I've ever heard that.
color
But
reversal.
that I'm going to, you hold that thought. You hold that thought right there and there because I need you guys for this.
Okay.
They all mean the same thing as what I've taught on the slide film positives transparencies. They mean the same thing. The film you view that came out of your camera is a positive. It looks normal, not like reversed in a negative. A negative is reversed. And I was going to ask Mike to tell us, or anyone else who wants to chime in, when you see a box of movie film and it says reversal film on it, what do you get back? Do you get, can I hold up the light and see positives? Or are they going to be negatives? Reversal, I think, negative. It's a positive.
Positive is easy to understand.
Yes, still state the process where movie states the yeah.
But reversal is also confusing because you almost think, oh, am I going to get a reversed image?
Exactly, yeah.
Be prepared to be confused.
And by the way, a photographic professional, Ward Bolt, rest in peace, used trannies.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Transparencies, trannies.
I'm sorry.
Or transmission, if you're a mechanic.
Yeah, that's where I've heard it.
Or,
more. Yeah.
I'm from Findlay, Ohio.
No, but
They
I
didn't
think it
say
all-
that. Polaroid uses a verb. This isn't so much confusing as it is a pet peeve. Not every instant developed image is a Polaroid. The noun and the verb thing. It is common to call an instant image of Fuji Instax a Polaroid. Hey, can you shoot a Polaroid of me on that thing?
100%.
Not technically, but I'll give it a shot.
Don't you love when they shake them too?
Oh, don't go there. No. Light. We can't live without light. Color, temperature, and Kelvin. Do you know what your Kelvin is? I have a cousin named Kelvin. No. That's something that's different. It's the color temperature. It's the reading in degrees. They give it degrees on how the color of your light source will be recorded on your film. It changes with the time of day. It changes with the light source. It changes with the film balance. You can have a daylight balanced film or a tungsten balanced film. Also in the light family, we have, I'm going to see if anybody knows this one. I learned something. Ambient, natural, available, and motivated.
Oh, what, I don't. Yeah, explain those.
You know motivated light?
Yes.
I don't know that I.
You know motivated light.
It's when you bring in artificial light and you try to make it mimic the natural source.
That would be the one.
Ah.
That would be the GMO of the light world, kind of. But yes, ambient just simply means the light that you have available to work with without modification. It's also natural light because we're not messing with it. It's the light that is available to us. And as Matt properly identified, motivated light is made to look like ambient light. But motivated light is typically artificial light.
Doesn't always have to be, but unless you're,
Yeah, wouldn't have to be.
you're usually sculpting it somehow with something,
Right.
So, for example, folks, Mike Rosso is sitting against a giant glass window with the daylight streaming in behind him. It's a backlight. If I wanted to add additional light that was motivated, like a window, it would have to be coming from the same direction to indicate a window. Just in case it got darker, I could have a motivated source.
There you go.
Whoa. You guys are freaking me out again.
Well, that's exactly the point. My head is in a meteor shower right now. And what is the point of all this?
A lot.
Well, don't be discouraged. Ask those who said it, what do you mean? Or ask the Google.
The Google.
If I've said something sometime that's confusing, don't let me get away with it. Just send me an email, Leslie@filmphotographyproject.com, and we will get it sorted out.
Whoa.
All right, Leslie, here we go.
I've had people ask questions about their cameras or whatever, usually about using their camera. And they don't know what something is called, and they'll just give it the wrong name or something that they pull out of a hat. And when they don't like being corrected. And so my response to that was, if you aren't speaking the same terms that are understood by everyone in that area of expertise, you're at a disadvantage, because if you can't describe the thing you're talking about in the terms that it should be expressed in, then whatever we tell you, you probably aren't going to understand either, because we are not speaking the same language. And so that's why it's like, imagine someone from Shakespeare's time coming to talk to you about something
Shoes.
in today's world, right?
They're called little torture chambers today.
He or she may know exactly what they're talking about, and they're telling you what they understand in those terms, and you're replying back and going, I don't know what you're talking about, even though it may be something commonplace. With cameras, photography is a very technology-driven aspect in art, and if you don't know the terms or can't use the terms that are accepted, you're at a disadvantage in describing your problem to someone if you can't tell them, whatever aspect it is that you're talking about. And so I think there has to be a accepted terminology for these things, just like we were talking about.
And Leslie, this segment was awesome for me because every day, many times per day, I'm sending an email to a customer who's asking a question about movie film, so I'm going to start my emails differently. I'm going to organize like, hey, thanks for writing. If there are any terms I use in my email that you do not understand,
Google it.
please feel free to just let me know
Yeah.
what it means, because I use those terms all the time. Like when you look at your neg,
We've just been doing it so
Yeah.
long.
That's
when
our-
you look at your
yeah.
positive image, when you look at your transparent, like
It's called Inside Baseball.
I don't realize that the person reading the email may be so new to film that they don't even understand when I say the little guide that we send out with movie film, set your f-stop to. What is an f-stop? Right. Yes.
I don't know if you brought up this terminology. I might have missed it, but
Wait, what? You did not listen intently to my entire
almost
segment?
all of it. Almost.
Okay.
Did you mention push and pull?
I did not.
So-
Because I'm kind of hitting the basic, this aspect was really for the
Okay.
new people, but
Well, that's something what
That's-
he was talking about. Like, it's good to know that it can really help. That coming from like a lab perspective, a lot of people will be like, I pushed Tri-X 400 to 200. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? They're like, I shot
Right.
it at 200, so I need it pushed. I'm like, no, you just like, if we develop it normally, that's a one-stop overexposure. Like a push, I'm like, no, a push happens in development. And like, so we're oftentimes trying to educate people on that, because we'll just have people constantly being like, I pushed it. And then we're like, you need it pushed? They're like, yeah. And then we overexposed by 2 stops because it didn't need a push.
and
just need to develop
that
normally.
would have been good to put in here, because they come across that early in their photography
That's a
adventure.
common
because,
thing now.
because lot of
They
seasoned
see
people
some
do
pros
it.
doing it,
Sure.
yeah.
Or that whole, box speed, and that's a different number than what's on the box and pushing
Yeah,
and
when
pulling.
people say-
You get
Changing
that.
those numbers.
Yeah.
Well, and the whole box speed thing, when people, I know we've gotten into this before.
Hashtag shoot box speed.
Hashtag shoot
When
box
people
speed.
are like, I don't shoot at box speed because it always underexposed. I'm like, well, it's probably because you're not metering correctly. Like a lot of times it's you're just underexposing in your metering. So that I know we've done like a whole show on that,
Yeah.
pretty much talking. But when it comes to pushing and pulling, that's something that we get a lot. Like people use pull and push, and then also think that it's the same thing. Like if you overexpose a stop in metering, that's the same result as if you were to actually push. But pushing will typically increase your contrast, make the highlights a little bit hotter sometimes compared to overexposing.
Hotter.
What's
Hotter.
that?
What's
Oh,
that?
hot. Yeah, there's
See?
another term. Yeah, bright
Do I have to put my oven mitts on?
Yeah.
or blown out.
Get
yeah.
your Ray-Bans. Ray-Ban
now, like,
sunscreen.
Don't give
Halation
in.
would be another thing. Like some people call it bloomy. Like they'll be like,
Glow.
"Oh, it's really
That's true.
bloomy
Yes.
highlights,"
Yes.
but it's halation.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people only think halation when they see red in colored film, but they don't think of halation with black and white. So that
Especially
black and white,
good
they
old
call
infrared had tons of halation.
Yeah, so they'll call it bloomy, like bloomy highlights when it's black and white, but halation when it's color, but it's all halation typically.
You shoot it at the box speed, so you understand what it's actually doing. And it's like, if these people, sometimes they'll say, well, I need to try this film and then this film and then this film and then this film. They never have an idea of what the typical exposure is going to be because they keep hopping from film to
Yes.
film to film.
Yeah, shoot a bunch of the same.
Right.
Yes.
Shoot a bunch of the same.
Learn it.
Whether it's Tri-X or HP5 or Mummy film. Mummy.
The mummy.
Shoot a couple rolls of it so that you understand what it is you're getting out of that film. And then you can make a decision that, maybe I should give this more exposure in these situations or less.
Trev Lee does that, and he informs me about characteristics of our own FPP film because he's shot it more than I have.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times, one of the biggest problems with pushing, especially black and white, is that people assume, like, say you were to shoot HP5 at 800, so it's 400 ISO at 800. They assume, like, we'll get emails and be like, "You didn't push our film," and I look at them like, "You did. Why? Or we did. Why do you not think that?" I'm like, "It's underexposed." I'm like, "You underexposed it. It doesn't matter if we pushed it. Like, if you underexposed it by a stop plus the stop that you already underexposed for shooting at 800, we would have to push it 2 stops to possibly counteract that, but we don't know that."
Yeah.
And so I always tell people, if they are pushing film, say they're shooting 400 ISO at 800, you still meter as if it's that box speed of 800 and meter for the shadows. Still error on overexposure, even if you are. It's a confusing thing to tell someone. Like, because you could still, like, if you're metering for snow and you shoot at, push, and you take that internal meter, you're going to be underexposed by 2 stops, even with a push.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all probably confusing if you've never done that, which is why we recommend box speed. Like, shoot a bunch of box speed, and then if you have a reason to push, then you might want to do it. But
Confused, worried,
we're scaring you away
Scared.
from pushing.
podcast at
Want to experiment?
filmphotographyproject.com. We're going to take a quick break and we come back.
You ever watch 1 Hour Photo?
Oh, I love that movie. It's freaky.
It's
So
too
freaky.
upsetting.
I want 鳥取んごストロベリーミルク。哇！你讀到好似日本仔咁唔得㗎。聽我讀呢邊啊。係。I want to drink strawberry milk.
Ever notice when you're making up some quick, you stir until it's rich and thick? You hate to take that first little sip, 'cause you know it'll be gone in a zip. It's so rich and thick and chocolate that you can't drink it slow. If it's quick, do-do-leo. That's the saddest sound I know.
And this is a 35 millimeter magazine.
Marvelous. Like a little lunchbox, isn't it?
Kind of. We're going to thread the film from this feed reel through the rollers and into the take-up reel.
Thread the pasta?
Got it. Here, hold the reel steady. See these sprockets? They kept...
Hey, we're back.
So Henrik Kudo just walked in. We're going to pull up a chair. We're going to do a segment on the show. Well, actually, Henrik's probably going to sit next to Owen.
I go wherever you want.
That's Owen's turf.
Gotcha.
It's his area.
Gotcha.
And we're going to do a segment on 828 film, which you're going to learn about today.
Oh, okay.
I sent you another one with George Eastman. He slaps the camera out of my hand.
That second one?
This is the second one.
What's beautiful about these old 35 millimeter bodies is the way the shutter feels. It's all clockwork. You wind it, you hear that click, and it's like you're part of the picture before it's even made. And when you load a roll like this,
you can't handle film!
So wait, are you...
He's given his image to Sora to do whatever he commands it to do, but it's going to turn on you just like in Terminator 3.
Hey, that's great. I'm here for a short time.
Just be nice to them.
I'm here for a short time.
Attractive.
So, hey, we're back officially. So, Owen, Henrik is going to share your mic. So if you're talking for any length, like you're going to be talking about 828 film, have the mic next to your mouth. Yeah. But the folks out there, so we're split on... Is it Sora 2 or Sora?
Sora 2.
So we're split on Sora 2, artificial intelligence, but Owen has embraced it. So now he has videos of him talking about 35 millimeter film, and George Eastman comes in, slaps the camera out of his hand.
Says you can't handle the film.
Oh, that's so good.
He has a spot with him and Orson Welles.
Is this on YouTube?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is the way the shutter feels. It's all clockwork. You wind it, you hear that click, and it's like you're part of the picture before it's even made.
See the beautiful piece. Just a PDF.
I've never seen Matt. Matt, I wouldn't say he's pissed, but he's almost like you crawled into like like if you were a turtle, you'd go inside. You don't want to even hear about it.
I'm viscerally repulsed by it. Yes.
Viscerally repulsed by it.
It's an anti-AI show.
Just remember, there was a time when people claimed that you got sickness from being on an elevator. Technology is very scary. I mean, this is extra.
Let's talk
for
Tylenol.
sure, but oh gosh,
Or electricity.
It is
that,
scary
there
when
was
the cable
vapors
breaks.
coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and then there was when they invented wind-up alarm clocks. There were these guys called, no joke, knocker-uppers. Their job was to walk down the street and tap on your window to wake you up to go to your factory job.
Mm-hmm.
And they were put out of the job by those evil wind-up alarm clocks.
This is very interesting.
Creative destruction is the
Okay.
term.
Okay.
It's when something
Techno-fascists.
Hey, I mean,
So
how's the food?
let's talk about, or do you want to do your since we're talking about fascists, or do you want to do your censorship piece?
I don't care.
Maybe, maybe since we're so split on like the AI, and some of us are repulsed, and Owen's
You
like,
know
yeah,
what?
go for it. Maybe this would be a good.
This AI fits slightly into this. So.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So
Now-
your bit is knocked.
And I don't need any. I don't
No.
need any bits about this because this is serious.
Okay.
Okay.
No jokes.
It's like Zapruder. Yeah.
Yes.
Here we go.
By the way, we go to the Zapruder show on YouTube. There's so many comments.
Oh,
A lot of crazies.
yeah.
I never saw the scans from the Zapruder film.
What do you mean the scans?
I developed the roll, the Kodachrome roll that was in her Zapruder camera.
Oh.
I gave it to you to scan, never saw it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it
Okay.
wasn't
Well-
remarkable, but I'll.
Harsh.
It was all pictures of a sidewalk while somebody was running.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So what is this segment called, Leslie?
This is a segment called "The Controversy and Censorship in Photography." It's all
Oh.
in the past when you thought or spoke of censorship or controversial works. Robert Mapplethorpe was high on the list. Was he powerful or was he problematic? Was he expressing personal passions or interpretations of art? Was he being deliberately shocking? A shock jock, we call today? Or we might even say, was he just doing it for views or clicks? He certainly challenged social norms. He provoked debates about social boundaries of art and obscenity. But who sets these boundaries? Many of us today would not known of him without the publicity he received regarding his subject matter. If you do not know him, I would recommend a Google for Robert Mapplethorpe, Mapplethorpe. I have been told that some of my own works have been offending, which bothered me. I don't want to offend anybody. I just take buildings, puppies, and kittens, don't I, you know? And I was also told by a good friend, just like, don't overthink this. He told me, any publicity is good publicity. A more recent controversy centers around Sally Mann, Mann. If you don't know her, she is a contemporary American photographer, born, raised, and living in Lexington, Virginia. A little of her background. I love this. She was introduced to photography at the age of 16 by her father, who taught her on his 5x7 camera. Today, we hope the best to give the kid a point and shoot, but thus was her basis for large format work today. Before college, she attended the Putney High School, which was a private school in Vermont. She sounds pretty innocent so far, just kind of a regular soccer mom. She took photography courses at Putney, where she said her motivation was to be alone in the darkroom with her boyfriend. And I'm thinking, you go, girl. And sorry, Dad. Beyond high school, though, she never had formal training. And even today, she never reads about photography or photographers. Maybe if she's going to try a new process, she may research that. She's not influenced by what other photographers are doing or what's cool at the time. And she does have a passion about many different type of processes. She's done a lot. Wet plate, traditional negative in various formats, Polaroid, color, black and white, ambrotypes, tintypes. But the process wasn't the point. To her, the subject resulted in the process. She's married, she has children, and her family was and is often the subject of her work. Her first work that she received minor controversy was a collection and an accompanying book titled At 12, Portraits of a Young Woman. She did not glamorize these images. These were not 12-year-old girls in the bedroom laughing and giggling, had their hair up and on the phone or doing that. She didn't glamorize it, not at all. And one image that stands out in my mind is simply titled Untitled, but it's a very beefy, muscular man and a 12-year-old female. And she had her hand on the back of his shoulder, but she was standing as far away as possible, and he's leaning toward her. She is nearly square on to the camera. Her other hand was on her hip, and her head was tilted away from him, almost defiantly. Her elbow was out of the frame. Sally Mann asked her to move in closer. No, she refused. The image is not comfortable to look at, yet there's nothing blatant. You can't say what it is. Just that little hint of body language. Later, Mann found out the girl's mother shot her boyfriend, the man in the image, in the face with a .22. During her testifying in court, she said that she worked nights and he was home partying and harassing her daughter. Mann said, the child, put it somewhat more directly to me in the image, a chill of reality. Due to the age of her subject, some thought this uncomfortable edginess was not appropriate. What makes her more widely known is her third collection called Immediate Family. These images were first exhibited in New York City and published as a monograph. She recorded spontaneous and carefully arranged moments of her children, sometimes in unnervingly imaginative play. And what unnerved the critics was her children in the nude, or a child holding a cigarette, a very adult action. Other subjects and other projects did not always revolve around her family, so I highly recommend Googling her as well. This barely touches on her. Now, as recent as 2024, a group exhibition, and I emphasize group exhibition, at the Modern Museum of Art in Fort Worth, Texas, was titled Diaries at Home. Raised controversy from local elected officials due to conversations with both political and religious-based organizations. The exhibition featured works by women and non-binary artists who explored multi-layer concepts of family, community, and home. Mann's work, of course, focused on her family portraits, which included nude images of her children. The locals complained, calling it child pornography, and they made an effort to remove her work from the exhibition. The museum defended them as intimate and compelling, and supporters argued that the outcry reflects a broader escalated trend of censorship, targeting artists and institutions who work with challenges of social media or exploring sensitive subjects. Her photographs were seized and removed by the police. They were later returned to her. She wasn't positive that was going to happen. Which brings up the subject for me of perceived censorship. Why do I say perceived? Who has the right to censor images for adults over 18? Well, who owns the museum or the gallery? Is it public or is it private? Most works are juried or edited into a display, a show, an exhibition. And it's so convenient that anything that they don't like can be refused with the excuse of, we don't have enough hanging space. Do the galleries and the museums have this right? Well, if they're privately owned, I guess they do. But the Museum of Modern Art of Fort Worth, even though it is private and nonprofit, is ran by a board weighing heavily on public service and opinion. Whereas the Dallas Museum of Art, like many, are owned by the city. So they're more publicly owned. I guess private galleries can dictate what goes on their walls, but I want to make my own opinions and assessments and walk away with whatever emotions I experience. Should I be dictated to? Can still be public, still have their secret little storage areas for the unsuitable works. She's back. Yes, we've got them, but we keep them out of the public eye. Unsuitable works brings me to my final comments. Controversial images. Works created for shock value. No point or passion behind them. It's nothing the artist believes in. Do these have the same right to be hung on the wall in the same public spaces? Example. Two of my close photographic friends shoots just this way. Photographer A tries to make the subject look neglected, traumatized. One image that remains in my brain is a bed-bound nursing home patient. She has food all over her face. The look of neglect. And I asked her when I saw this, is that how you found her? No, she said they were feeding her, and after every spoon, they wiped her face clean. Misrepresentation. Make the image at their most vulnerable. It's not even a realistic representation. This is very common for her to shoot like this. Photographer B. The image I have in mind is of a young man. He's 15, maybe 16 years old. He is holding his child at a hometown outdoor event. One could have made the point about children being parents because he was so young with his child. Yet this image gave dignity to the subjects. It still showed the realization of the situation. It had all the emotions, but it did not have the anger that the viewer might have been made to feel. Anger was really not a warranted emotion in this case. I think it's something we should all think about, especially in our current times in media control. We've always had this. We've always had how we may get more dramatic images than the situation. But But now it's just explosive, and some of these images can be AI created. Not just misrepresentation, just AI created. Should we be angry at others? Think what we should see, that the others are telling us, I'm going to make you think what I want you to see here. Or see what I want you to think. Either way around. Like banning books. You're going to limit my access to books? Yes, they are. Should we be angry at shocking images that do not truly represent the situation? Should images that are grossly misrepresenting the subject still be given the same wall space or media coverage that a dignified rendering would? Maybe. If they're making a point. But just for attention getting, I don't know about that. I would hope we could go in with the attitude that I suggested to my mother the first time I took her to the Toledo Museum of Art. She would look at the works, tilt over to me, and she kept saying, I don't get it. What's going on here? I said, Mom, you don't have to get it. Just experience it. See how it makes you feel. But she had the right to see any image and experience it. That was her right. Not what was chosen for her to see. I don't think it made any difference. She wouldn't have gotten it either way, but do you just get to experience emotion, or were you forced to experience an emotion that was not reality? I think both of these subjects, I've really barely touched on them, but I hope it makes you think about it. And I actually, after I wrote this, did think about it. And I'm thinking about, am I censoring the image because I think it's a shocking image and not true representation? Am I censoring that image and not allowing it to be on the wall? Maybe I'm not censoring images. Maybe I am. There you go.
Leslie, that was really well thought out.
Yeah. I have to travel. I can't write these at home.
Yeah.
So I get a Verbo or an Airbnb, and this crap just flies.
In the topic of like photographs of nude children in the debate, to me, my personal morality, the only thing I would worry about is, can a child consent to those images being captured and being displayed?
That's what I was going to say. Because I have a 7-year-old daughter. I think I'm a great father.
I will attest to that.
My daughter is awesome, and she has free will to like do stuff, but she will still do things to please my wife and I. So like, in my opinion, if I were with the best intention to photograph her in that way, like, she could choose that based off of pleasing someone else other than her own. And I think politics can weaponize what you're talking about, but I do not think that it's solely politics, because the one thing that hasn't been said until you brought up is the protection of a child that can't possibly fully express that or comprehend it in like until like, you know, there's even the Nirvana guy who's sued to try to be the naked baby on the thing. So I mean, like, you know, someday they might not want that up there.
Last line took me out of the water. For Sally Mann, it was very common for her children to be nude all the time. So I don't know that they necessarily felt like they were just going to agree to it to please her. But you're correct about the future. Do they want them out there in the future?
Well, and really, it's just that is it harmful?
And it's
is
just
debatable, not that it is so or isn't so at all.
We're so American. We got a problem with nudity anyway.
But empowering someone who doesn't do it in a good way as well. Like, I could have the best intentions to share something, and someone else who doesn't could be masked as that. I think is also the protection. But yeah,
it's a deep subject.
The other thing with Sally is that one could say there's some naivety on her part. She grew up wanting to run around naked all the time. Mm-hmm. So you've got this
privileged, sheltered, all of the above. Yes,
you know. So I get it, and I love your point too. Is that children can't really give adult consent.
Yes.
You know, and that is a problem. And of course, with current topics going around, current events.
Did you get to meet her in Ann Arbor?
Yes, I did.
I got to meet her afterwards. Wasn't that awesome?
She's a wonderful person.
She really is.
She's.
It's funny. We both went to Ann Arbor to see her and didn't know each other was going to be there. And there's Mark O'Brien coming across the street.
And you know,
that was a good series.
I treasure her emails and the written letters I've gotten from her over the past few years because I've been sending her zines and stuff. And we have mutual friends. And so her latest book, which is really good, and I really recommend that to her latest book to anyone who wants to be an emerging artist or a photographer.
Title? Sally Mann 2025 publications.
I'll have to look it
Thanks,
up.
Google.
But I got a copy of it right away. I pre-ordered it, and I think I read it in a couple of days. Sometimes in life, in art especially, it's not always what you know, it's who you know.
I say that once a week.
Taking advantage of an opportunity when it presents itself. Oftentimes we have an opportunity and we don't realize it. And she's someone who was very fortunate in meeting certain people at the right time in her career. And I mean, it's not like she hasn't had a pauper's existence in her life. She has by choosing the route that she's taken. But you know, I think now she's definitely gotten the recognition she deserves. There's not many women photographers you can claim to be a national treasure of sorts. You know, she would be one of them.
Are you going to maybe do a blog on the book, or have you?
I should. I haven't.
You
yet.
should.
The book that she's written is. Anyone who wants to endeavor to be a photographer or an artist of any kind, I think really needs to read it, because part of it is about doing things that you want to do and doing it for yourself versus doing what people expect you to do.
Almost back to that, she doesn't read about photographers.
Yeah.
She's inspired by herself to move on.
Anyhow, wow.
Really, my only take on any of this is art is, in my take is, art is the act of questioning, and when you're interpreting media of any kind, but especially visual art, ask yourself why you're feeling something. Try to ask yourself what was the artist thinking? Why am I being presented with this? Why in this space? Why in this location? If you don't find yourself asking questions, you are missing so much of the point.
I think that's great.
And that's a good point.
That's a good ending.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's see what we get. Podcast at filmphotographyproject.com. I'll forward it to the Brain Trust here.
We're going to lose our sponsorship with Corn Nuts, the Midwest treat.
Done.
So we'll see you next time.
They're fighting for. Oh, Emily, waiting for the bomb. She's waiting for the bomb.